Hi friends, welcome back to another video of CCM Life. And this one, on this episode, which I'm losing track of the numbers now, we're going to talk about a topic that kind of opened up my mind quite a bit. And this is going to be responsibility. And it kind of ties into the word responsibility, and I think that's kind of where it came from, actually. It is your ability to respond to a certain situation or an external factor. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's say you are in a situation, right? Like at work, for instance. And this is one reason why I kind of went away from the idea that, work, because of work, this, this person, that person. Essentially, you pretty much say that everything is your fault. And if you can go ahead and think that way, that everything is your fault, you will be able to respond a certain way and be able to take action and change things the way you want it. Because essentially what you want to do is you want to be the person that pretty much envisions, has a picture of what you want to make at the end, realistically, and then you kind of start planning ahead to see okay, this is the picture I have in my mind. So then you have the ability to do that. There's nothing else in the world. Everything can be controlled by you pretty much. And it comes down to this, because there's only one thing you really can control technically, and that's your brain. And if you're able to control what you envision and then write a script of what you want to accomplish at the end, create the script, and then implement the script, you'll be able to accomplish a lot of what you want to do. And to do that, of course, you need to train to have a different perspective, a different paradigm. Now, these are all things that I kind of learned with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And I kind of had an idea, oh yeah, you kind of just need to work hard and stuff. And you hear all these gurus, Andrew Tate, Iman God's yeah, things are your fault, you just got to work hard, blah, blah, blah. But they never really, how should I put this? I gave it the thought of why, And that's kind of my goal right now, is to give you the why. And so let's take someone, for instance, in the book, it describes a specific character that kind of brought this into play. That was I believe, and because he was in the concentration camp, he was a psychologist and a Jew, most likely. This was a Dr. Frankl. Frankl was probably his first name. Let's just call him the doctor, the doctor in the concentration camp, just to make it easy for us. He was in the concentration camp, and, at some point he was like, I can't sit here and be depressed the entire time, which, by the way, if you guys kind of know me already, I don't believe in depression, and I'll get to that in a little bit, and I might make a separate video on that too, actually. Anyhow, he goes ahead and describes, what? All these people have control of everything in my life. What can I have control of? And he discovered that there's one thing he does have control of, and that's his brain. And if he can control the way he thinks, the way he perceives things, there is absolutely no way on earth that these people, the Nazis, will be able to take it away from him. And so what did he do? He actually became so influential in what he started thinking, and they even put him in a solitary confinement. And this dude was able to think so good and be so influential, he actually even influenced some of the Nazis there. He came out and started pretty much preaching his research at the end of the day, which is pretty interesting. This goes as far as to show that someone who is in the harshest environment in the world, literally in a fucking concentration camp, and he's able to live a happy life. And he even said, I was the happiest at that time as well, because I had envision, I had the perception of something different as opposed to all these people. He lost his mom, his wife, his kids, everyone. And this guy was pushing through to the point where he was inspiring Nazis. And yet we have a bunch of people around the fucking world, lazy as fuck, not doing shit. This is going on. Shut the fuck up. Man up. Especially you men out there. I don't think anywhere in the world. Sorry, I'm driving and there's this guy trying to pass me and I was going to pass this guy. Fuck it. There should be no reason in the world why you should think that way, and that's because you need a different paradigm. Now, with that being said, and paradigm meaning like perspective of how things are. With that being said, that kind of comes through experiences as well. So you need to be exposed through those experiences for you to be able to do that, and it comes with time and exposing yourself to the correct people as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So the way you react to a certain stimulus will determine what the outcome will be like. And if it's something that you want it to be a positive outcome or you want it to be a certain way, then you need to act it that certain way. You need to respond that certain way. And it only comes with you having the values and principles to have it a certain way. Because if you're just sitting around, moping around, not doing anything about it, then someone else, something else, someone else's plan, someone else's vision, someone else's anything is going to control you and your life. Is that what you really want in your life? Or do you want true independence so that you can actually go ahead and be the own boss of your own life? Because otherwise you're just going to sit around and waste your entire life being the bitch of someone else. And that's how you become a fucking slave. So, that's what I found pretty interesting. And that's pretty much how they're able to enslave you. That's how they're pretty much able to go ahead and influence you through other mediums like social media. Be able to tell you like, do this, do that. This person's doing this, this person is doing that. Yes, this is social media, but I'm trying to kind of break that thing, you know. I'm trying to break that mentality, and it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. Because people want to live in a comfortable lie as opposed to live in a harsh truth. And yes, the truth and everything else, like the truth, God, everything in front of it is pretty much nasty, harsh, cold. But if you continue forward, you know you lived a value life. You know you were righteous. You know you will enter the kingdom of God because you were with him and he stood with you. It's just very interesting to me that the more I learn, the more I kind of like learn about myself too, about some things that I made mistakes on. And one big mistake, for instance, was bitching about how bad nursing was, and if I think I could have changed if I would have read this book probably and implemented it back then, I probably would have stayed a nurse. So things happen for a reason, I think, in all life, really. So, but now I kind of respond differently to different scenarios. For instance, my breakup recently, I was like, okay, it sucks. I was crying. Yeah, I was being a little bitch about it. But at the end of the day, I said, you know what? I'm learning a lesson here. And I'm going to use this to push myself, to fuel myself, to become a better person. She didn't like me for something. And it was something about me going to Mexico. Fine, whatever. But let's say she did not like me for something. I'm too ugly. I'm too fat. I don't have a fucking job. Fine, whatever. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and work so fucking hard. So I did ask her. I ended up asking her, like, you know what? Just tell me the real reason why you left me. That's all I need to know. Essentially, it was for something else. But you change the way you respond to different things. And then you go ahead and then create a script. It's almost like hacking your life in a way. You know, you write a script to what you want. No matter what happens, what life brings you, you're going to write that script to say, this is exactly what I want you to do and how we're going to do it. And if that script doesn't work, then you rewrite it and you keep rewriting it over and over and over, because you are a hacker of life. And I thought that was pretty interesting, actually. So I think pretty much step one in life would be check yourself, pretty much. check where the fuck you're at, what your thoughts are, how you view things, and see if you can actually increase your value, or not your value, but your values and your principles. Because if you don't even have those, you're just gonna respond like a fucking idiot, like a fucking slave, because you have nothing. You have nothing to base why you do things. I started mine. I kind of started centering like, what do I really want? What am I going to accomplish? For who am I going to accomplish it for? Not necessarily to be proud, but I want it so at the end of the day I can make God happy, and I can take care of my family and take care and love those that don't have it, pretty much. And I'm going to be that guy that to them I serve as a role model, so that they continue doing the same thing and they continue preaching the same stuff over and over and over. So we create a group of good people, good soldiers, a good society. Anyway, that's my speech on responsibility, your ability to respond to situations, to scenarios. Right now, I'm driving to Caesar. We're gonna go to Chicago. It's my siblings' graduation, the twins. So we're gonna go congratulate them, and I'm probably gonna bring the bed that I bought in Chicago back to North Carolina, because after this, we're moving in with Caesar, and we're working hard. And I'm happy where I'm at right now with the business and stuff, and there's a lot of visions I have with it too, and Caesar's my right hand with that, and God is spearheading everything, and I thank God for everything. Oh, and that brings me to another topic, depression. It's also the way you actually see things, and I'm going to make a separate video about this more in depth, but I don't believe in depression. I feel like if you're sitting there, medication's not going to change the way you actually see things. Medication's only going to boost the way you feel about things, but you're still going to see the same thing. If you're in the fucking concentration camp and they give you these pills to be like, oh, here, take a happy pill, you're not going to be fucking happy. You're still going to say, well, I'm still locked up. I'm still a fucking slave. Yeah, but you're happier, aren't you? No, the fuck you're not. If they gave a happy pill to all these people who were in the concentration camps, they will not all be happy to be slaves. It's the way to perceive things. The doctor, the psychiatrist that was locked up in the concentration camp, he never took medication for that shit. He thought about it. He envisioned it. He said, I have my own world in my head and my vision that I'm going to go ahead and script and write and implement. And you all guys want to play depressed and I'm oppressed from society and stuff. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Man up and try to live the life you want. Because life is hard. Fucking slaves. Anyway, I'll make an in-depth video about that in the future. Trying to be positive as well. I'm just a little irritated with like a lot of crap that's going on and stuff. And like the more I learn, the more I see like how fucked up the world is. But writing that script, envisioning that script, or actually the other way, I envision that script, I write that script, I implement that script, and I'm gonna make it. I know I'm gonna make it. There is no doubt about it. I'm not scared about anything. Because next to me, in front of me, is gonna be God. And if He's not the first priority in your life, you're already losing big time. Anyway, guys, take care. Subscribe, follow, like, do whatever. Dislike, I don't care. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about me. Because I know where I'm heading. If you want to head somewhere in life, change your way, change your thoughts, improve as a person, become a high-value person, I suggest following. Because you know what? You're going to grow with me. And I feel like every day that I dedicate myself to this business to becoming a high valued person, I grow every single day, and I'm becoming stronger. Physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, it'll come pretty soon. So, take care, guys.